All right, hello and welcome everyone. How are you doing? It is a great Thursday now, August the 13th. We were talking on the live stream last night how it's just been forever since I've done a gaming stream. And I decided, hey, you know what? I really want to finish Call of Cthulhu. Last time I played was way long ago, so I have very little memory of what's going on here, other than you're an investigator, and you're investigating, I want to say, the Hawkins family, and it's a Cthulhu game. You get to upgrade your character, make him more adept at certain things as time goes on. And I remember we were in an insane asylum last time I played this, and it did not go well for me. It definitely had a couple moments that gave me a good jump. So I'm looking forward to getting back into it, and it's gonna be a shorter one. Within an hour, I'm gonna have to stop because that's the end of the time I've got, no matter what. And I may at any point get a phone call back from tech support because I got this issue going on with a software I'm using, and I have a ticket in with their tech support. So hopefully they call me back before the end of business today. So that's what's going on. So let's go and jump into it. And hello to Monty Spatchuk. Hail Life with Matthew. The pub was good last night. Please keep them going. Well, I certainly hope to, my friend. And just so y'all know, one of the things I really like about doing this, as opposed to my virtual pubs, and I love my virtual pubs, but one of the things I like about this is I will read just about everything y'all put up there. So this will be much more of a back and forth talk with y'all in the chat, as opposed to the virtual pub where, gosh, I do my best to incorporate what y'all guys say. It's just once we get people up on the stream, it is so hard to mention what everyone else says as things are going on. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what it was. We fought the Shambler. That was such a hard fight. At the end of the last playthrough, we were at this, it was like this private art gallery, and we went up and looked at this picture of the Shambler, which is a classic H.P. Lovecraft horror monster. And the thing was just the hardest to actually defeat. But we finally got him. And so let's see. Once we destroyed the picture, and we had to find the right knife to destroy the picture, then we were able to... I think that's where we decided that... let's see. He later discovered that the dagger he used to repel the creature had been sold to Sanders by a man named Algernon Drake, owner of the Nameless Bookstore. Pierce, that's my character, has decided to pay the library a visit. And hello, Captain Truck. How are you doing, my friend? Your friendly Sugar Bowl reviewer is here to talk about different things. Hey, you did a great job on Loki's Mornings of Mischief an hour ago when y'all guys were talking about the latest episode of Lower's Deck. I disagree with you a lot about it, but I think y'all did a great job presenting your side of the case. Monty Spacechuk is saying, hey, at least you have tech support. In my job, most of the support is 100-plus-year-old manuals and books. What do you do, Monty? Okay, let's see what's going on with our intrepid hero. Yes, that's a door that I'm going through. Captain Truck, I hated that show, but thank you. So I did not hate
Where's the bookseller?
Lower Decks at all. Someone has not had a good day today. So I did not hate Lower Decks. I also just didn't like Lower Decks. And that's one of the hard things whenever... oh gosh, how do I do all this? Whenever there's a show that most people hate, and
Another
you don't
volume
necessarily
of the
hate,
Reverend's wife's diary.
You end up defending it to the point that people think that you must love the show, and I absolutely did not love the show. I did like this week's episode more than last week's episode, but last week's episode pissed me off just so much. So let's see. The pastor declared himself to be the prophet. He renounced God and worshipped a strange pagan entity with a monster appearance. His wife tried to reason with her husband, but in vain. He was convinced that he must listen to the voice in his head because it holds the truth. And yeah, that's one of the things we found out last time, is that the whole plot is there was a lady who was accused of killing her husband, and we've been hired to prove that wrong. And so we found that the husband is not dead. The lady, I want to say she burned to death in a fire that possibly she created. We found the husband. He has like tentacles growing out of half of his face. He's not doing well, obviously. And Monty's saying that he rebuilds old tools. Ooh, that's kind of cool, man. Lathe tools and the like. Okay. So I do desktop support stuff. I program industrial automation equipment. So I do things like program Allen Bradleys and Schneider Electric PLCs, and then I also develop the graphical interface to go with them, and that's one of the things I'm working on right now, a graphical interface. Let's see, Darkwater History Volume 2. A Puritan colony led by a Reverend John Wickwood settled on the island during the 17th century. 17th? Oh, what a bad typo there. But oh well, I'm not perfect either. You can see they spelled it 17th with an E on the end of it. The 17th century. They named the island Darkwater because of the dark shades of the sea. They believed it was because of the particular color of the rocks surrounding the island. They erected the first buildings, among which were the Hawkins Manor, the church, and the cemetery. The rare documents and handwritten notes they left spoke of nightmares and deviant behaviors. They disappeared at the beginning of the 18th century, with no E this time. And if I read enough of these books, I actually get experience points. So this game really rewards you for investigating. And Captain Trick is saying, and by that show I do not mean Lower Decks standards. I mean the one I was on. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And yeah, we'll talk privately, man. Well, I think you did a great job anyway, and I really enjoy Loki's Mornings of Mischiefs. He does a much better job than I do of keeping everyone on track. He does a better job of asking a question and having everyone respond to it. And maybe if I had a dedicated panel and just open lines, that might work better. But I love my open line show. And this is a medical book. And see, like that, I just got I got some skill points in medicine, so that's nice. Monty Spatchok, very nice. My tools are 100 or more years old. At the moment, I'm doing a British Empire lathe from the 1890s. That's cool. I love old stuff. I love fixing up old stuff too, but I am definitely not mechanically inclined. And hello, Robert Rose Jr. How are you doing today? Let's see. I'm seeing a lot of signs of breaking, entering, and struggles going on here. So Lower Decks. Ooh. That's interesting. We'll get to that in a minute. So the first episode I really did not like. Because of Mariner. Mariner is just the most aggravating character to me. I enjoy the rest of the plot line for Lower Decks. I think that it has an interesting premise. I like that we're looking at ensigns. I like Rutherford. I think he was a fun character.
What happened here?
Okay, to enter the reconstruction machine, hold my both mouth keys. All right. I like Tindy.
Let's start over.
Her boundless enthusiasm. Something about Tindy's boundless enthusiasm really rings out to me. I don't know what it is. Maybe you guys might be able to figure that out for me.
Blood. Seems like amateur work.
I like the fact that Rutherford is kind of a very genuine guy who seems to really enjoy his job. Which, again, maybe that's, close to home for me. But Mariner is just... They want her to be this really fast-talking, smart lady, and I'm not seeing it. Like, she's supposed to be like, I say something and now you're supposed to laugh kind of dialogue, and it's just not working for me.
Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably.
How can you tell that from... Like, what if it's just a lady with big feet? You don't know. And then episode 2 was better. It really was. Like, with episode 2, it really made me laugh at several times.
No sign of struggle. If the burglar smashed this jar, it wasn't intentionally. Was he hurt then?
So with episode 1, I maybe smiled at one point, but episode 1, like, a lot of the plot line was just the same old rehash to me. Because I am a Rick and Morty fan. I had a lot of fun with it. Minus their most recent season. I think that it's been kind of going downhill in quality. But
what killed all these animals?
The episode where you had a slug creature sucking on some guy who ended up naked and whose accretions ended up being the answer to everything. That is literally an episode of Rick and Morty.
What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene?
Jerry was trying to kill Rick at an amusement park where he couldn't die.
That made the burglar flee before finishing his work.
And he ended up getting busted. And so in order to get out of there, Rick had Jerry get eaten by a worm thing, and his slime did all this stuff. It was the exact same plot, more or less. Ooh, what have I done?
What the... Charles Hawkins?
Interesting. So yeah, there's the husband that was supposed to have died. I came over here because I'm expecting something to jump out at me with all this glitching going on. Okay, let's see what's going on. Wait, am I Charles now? What on earth?
What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess?
Okay, so Sarah painted this occult symbol on it, and when her husband tried to open it, it, like, threw him across the room. Like
Sarah
that.
Hawkins helped hide something in this safe.
And hey, Wesley Crusher, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm playing games without you, sorry. And Thomas, why is barely anyone streaming? I don't know. It works well for me. I feel bad about streaming when other people are. Because I do it just to hang out with you guys, and I know other people do it because this is a livelihood, so I try not to step on their toes. But no one was streaming,
Drake
so...
put in a great deal of
you know, it's my
effort
turn.
to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
Sorry, how's the volume doing, by the way? If there's ever a time where you can't hear it or it's overpowering, please let me know. So I can fix that. And I just said hi, Wesley. Hello. And yeah, finally a mod is on.
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
Okay, if somebody finds these memoires, it will no doubt mean that I have encountered serious troubles. My only hope is that my mortal remains are still in this plane so they may be recovered and cremated. The funeral urn should be delivered to my dear mother if she is still of this world. What follows is of the utmost importance. Whoever reads these lines and exhibits acuity as least as sharp as my own can hope to gain access to my most precious possession. It lies within my safe, and the clues to the combination are to be found in 3 cylinders, which each one hidden where life and study combine in the Greek world. Oh gosh. Okay. Each cylinder is numbered, even if, as the celebrated playwright says, order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. Okay, so we're not going to get to figure out the combination. We have to put it in order ourselves. Because even though I am usually an adept of organized chaos, I must admit that more often than not it still is reason that prevails. If by chance a person, or should I say a genius, was to match my intellect and find the combination of the safe, I would ask that they deliver the contents into a safekeeping of my friend and colleague, Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University. The contents are not only a vast fount of knowledge, but also a weapon that is far too dangerous for it to fall into the wrong hands. I hope that you will be able to appreciate the danger that this represents, and you will act accordingly. I will neither be there to guide you nor to suffer. Suffer what? I can't read the last bit. Suffer from your actions. Oh, neat. So good or bad things can happen. So I need to find 3 cylinders where where life and study combine in the Greek world. Okay. Interesting. Hey, sci-fi guy, how are you doing today? He says, life with Matthew can't stay long. Things that need to be done. I did leave a like/thumbs up, though. Hello at Captain Trek and chat. Well, thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that, my friends. Everyone's unsubby because Wesley's a mod. Oh, yeah. Live with Matthew. I'm unsubbing unless you unmod at Wesley Crusher. No, Wesley. I'm not going to unmod you.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, someone else was taking some sleeping pills in an earlier playthrough we were doing.
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
Let's see. This key that bears the Elder Sign is the only one able to protect your psyche. It is in the form of a cylinder medallion hanging at the end of a heavy chain. Hundreds of years ago, the star and the branch whose purpose is to push back the force of the Great Old Ones were engraved at its center. Everything points to it being Charles Hawkins that tore it from its last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer. In press cuttings that mention the misdemeanor, the date of the robbery coincides with the last of Hawkins' trip to Cairo. It remains to see whether he knows the true purpose of the artifact and try to find it. Okay. So I need to find a necklace. Let's see, Monty's saying that clue is a museum or salon. I don't get it. Okay,
Things are not looking good.
Can I interact with this? What do we got? We got a king completely surrounded by pawns. He's in check, isn't he? He's in checkmate even.
Things are not looking good. A kind of chalice.
See, this goblet appears to be very ancient. It seems to be made of gold and decorated with real precious stones. So the rubies and sapphires make up a specific motif? Oh gosh, I hope not. More history. All right. Wesley Crusher. Can I put Wesley Crusher in a timeout? I don't know how that would work. The Greek life and study meet clue. The Greeks used salons and museums to talk about such things. I did not know that. Oh, that's right. I got a lantern that I used somehow. Man, I think I'm going to die a lot as I'm relearning all the controls. So, lower decks. I think lower decks could easily be improved. Mainly by drastically changing Mariner's character. Oh, hey, look, here's 3 cylinders.
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
Because Mariner's whole character makes no sense. They treat her as if she's this really old character, this really old person, when she's not. Like, she's supposed to be Mariner's age, like, or Bullimer's age. They make a line in episode 2 about, we're the same age. What do you mean by Black Ops back in the day? Or Gray Ops. So it just makes no sense.
Arkham editions. Never heard of him.
Let's see, American folklore. Okay.
How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions.
I wonder if this is going to somehow be related to the
Arkham Editions.
to the code.
Never heard of him.
Like Massa di Requiem per Shuge, Volume 7.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Volume 4, Key of Solomon.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Volume 9?
Arkham Editions. Never heard of him.
Yeah, I get
How
that.
many volumes are there in this collection?
It looks like there's 9. I think I looked at them all now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So if they just made Mariner a really old character, then I would have liked her, because then you would have had this really old character coming up against coming up alongside of Bloimer, who is a wet behind the ears ensign, and that could have worked. Then you'd have someone gruffy and grumpy, and then you'd have someone idealistic and optimistic. But then that literally would have been like a Rick and Morty ripoff, and there's enough Rick and Morty stuff in it as it is. Okay, let's listen to number 1. Maybe you guys can help me figure this out. Let's see. Listen.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay.
Okay, so that's the Grail over on the windowsill. Then let's try listening to this one.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods.
Something about the Grail, something about the chessboard.
Protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
Okay, so there's something about the goblet. There's something about the chessboard.
Dear friend.
And there's something about
for the anthology of the
the anthology
that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them. Dear friend,
Okay, so let's see.
I understood that we were only pieces
I think
on the chessboard of the Let those of us who are still standing.
The code is going to have 9 for the books.
Soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 for the queen, and then the goblet. What about the goblet? So 4, a 9, and let's listen.
Drops, like
and the red drops. Okay.
Drops, like precious stones, lie fixed.
The chalice of knowledge.
Let's see. We'll start with this cracked know where to start kind of again. So 1 redstone, 2 redstones, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 9. I'm going to save my game. Can I not save my game? Rats. Let's Akbar this up, people. 5, 4, 9.
I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Let's see. I'm going to do this one. Nope. How do I... Oh, rotate with this. 5. No? Uh-oh. Oh, I need to change it after I do it. Okay, 5, 4, 9. Rats. Let's see. 5, 9, 4. I don't want to brute force this. That can get boring. Let's see. 4, 9, 5 maybe. 4, 5, 9. 9, 5, 4, 9, 4. Shoot. That was all my guesses. Let's try this again. Yeah, Thomas, I should use TNT. I agree. Okay, volume 9.
Talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was... What did Drake say about this? Drake talked about a particular...
Yeah, it was volume 9.
So these are the volumes that Drake was... What did Drake say about this
There's
collection?
1.
Drake talked about a particular
3.
volume. So these are the volumes that Drake
okay, 1,
was
2,
talking
3.
about. What did Drake say about this collection?
6.
Drake talked about a
7,
particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake
okay, this
was
is 9 right
talking
here,
about in
right?
his message.
What am I missing, guys? Volume 9 is especially of importance, he says. The Key of Solomon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe? L.W. de Lawrence, edited by C.D. Waitrese. Arkham Anthology, volume... I'm reading that... No, that's 4. That's 4. Wait. Where's 9?
What did Drake say about this collection?
Okay, that's 7.
Drake talked about a particular
That's
volume.
4.
So these are the volumes that Drake
Here
was
we go. This
talking
is
about in his
this is
message.
9. Azathoth and Other Horrors by E.P. Derby. Arkham Anthology, number 9. Wesley, you can totally be crushed. You can be totally trusted with that authority. And there's something weird about this green lamp oil. We talked, like they've mentioned that a couple times.
The Queen has little protection.
Let's try this again.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the
The chalice of
guardian of the
knowledge.
Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Okay,
The chalice
the
of
red
knowledge.
drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm pretty confident on that one. 5.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
Okay,
Queen has little
there's
protection.
the White Queen over on the left-hand side with 3. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe I was messing up because I was doing a 4 when it should have been a 3. So let's try 3 instead of 4. So 5, 3, 9. Let's try that. All right. 5, 3, 9. Captain Trek. I must have bad judgment if I trust Wesley. There we go. Oh, the faded black freaked me out for a second. I thought I was going to be attacked again. Which I might be. I mean, it's about time. Yeah, 9 is the IX. Yeah, I was just messing up. I was counting the total number of white chess pieces instead of just the ones protecting the queen still. Oh crap. Apparently I'm going to be attacking Saruman. The all-seeing eye. What? Okay. A book covered in human skin, light inside, irresistibly attractive detective. When he opened it, his mind was projected into another body. Fun. How are we doing on time? We're still good on time. The other way I think that Mariner's character could have been improved, which, if you've never been to one of these, me talking about things while I try to play a game, welcome. I'm going to be all over the place. So the other way I think that Mariner could have been improved is making her talk less. Just every time she talks, it's 100% annoying.
This man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Let's see. The other way I do these games is that this is an interactive deal. You get to decide how I respond to prompts like this. So we're going to start at the top right-hand corner. That's going to be number 1. So if you want me to examine the patient, just type a 1 into the stream. If you want me to ask if he's been drugged, give me a number 2. 3, I'll call Dr. Fuller, and 4 regarding the patient. Now, probably, if I'm remembering this right, I think that I end up getting to do all of them at some point. So it might be a bit of a moot point, but I still try to... I hope that this is engaging, that we get to do it like that. And if not, the next game I do, I'll try and make sure it is a little more interactive. So let's go ahead and examine the patient, which I do have some medical abilities, so hopefully this works.
Very well. I'll examine him.
Let's see. So let's start with the one that requires medicine skill.
30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin. Tender at the touch. Slightly sticky.
Captain Trek. Hey, John DeMarco. Finally a good mod is on and not Mr. Buttban Wesley Crusher. That's true. Wesley has butt-banned a couple people in the past, but it's all good.
Severe malnutrition. Swollen
Yeah, I agree,
abdomen,
Thomas. He looks
traces
very,
of petechiae.
very dead. But he's frozen and
Doesn't seem
dehydrated.
like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are
Frozen,
beyond my
dehydrated,
comprehension.
and having a parasite.
What did you find?
Okay, and since I succeeded on all of my medical checks, we get 3 options. Either we can say that he has something in his belly, that the state of his limbs is worrisome, or that he's severely dehydrated. So 1, 2, 3. We want to talk about his belly, what's up with his appendages, or the fact that he's dehydrated. Which, I don't know, personally, I think the fact that he has something growing out of his belly to be the most concerning concerning issue that this guy has come in with. And while I'm waiting for a consensus to be reached, so Burnham, I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think that they're going to try and make Burnham turn out to be like a Trill? Because she talked about gray ops back in the day, and they kind of did away for a throwaway joke. But I want to know if you think that it is just going to be a throwaway joke, or if you think that they're actually laying up groundwork for Mariner to have this big backstory where she's been promoted and demoted several times. She served on lots of different ships, and maybe she's a Trill in the end. You know, some last-minute surgery to save a Trill life, even though she's completely human, so it wouldn't make sense. But maybe they did that?
Did you examine
he has something in
his
his
abdomen?
belly.
It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that
You can't
shouldn't
make that
be
line
there.
anymore.
We
That was
should
just 2
operate on
years
him
ago.
at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth.
Okay, so we're gonna do all these. So I'm just gonna talk about the state of his limbs.
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
So he's turning into
It's
like a
soft at the
squid
touch.
monster.
It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
I don't think this nurse wants to be here today. She just wants to get out of Dodge.
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
Yeah, he's turning into a... his body's mutating. Yeah, he's turning into a squid thing.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean?
Hey, Jitsi Lemons, how are you doing? Yeah, the captain in the background, he's an old sailor ship guy. He's really laying it into the doctor back there.
From our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations, and this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
This doctor seems trustworthy. I mean, that's a nice beard he's got there.
I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients.
In fact, you take off the mustache and give him a ponytail, and that could be anti-tracker.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
Okay, do we want to talk about, one, that these are worrisome symptoms, two, that I've just never seen anything like that, or three, are we just going to call him out? You're turning him into a monster. Captain, no, he's too young. Well, I know, he looks kind of older. He's just, he's dyeing the beard, it looks like. You add a little more gray in there, give him a ponytail. You got a good facsimile of Anti. Wesley's putting himself in a 300-minute timeout. Oh, that's funny. He said he's gonna do it starting in, and then everyone started to do 333. So I thought you were doing the countdown for him, but no, you want me to say we're confronting him. Which, let's be honest, in a horror movie, it never goes well to confront the murderer by yourself in the middle of the night with no one else around. I mean, but we'll do it. Let's see if I turn into a tentacle monster.
I've seen suction cups on his fingers, his falling body temperature, his dehydration. Had I only read the report, you know what I would have concluded, Doctor.
Do I? Tell me anyway. I'm curious.
He's no longer human. These are the attributes of an animal.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been
Hey,
hiding.
Daniel's Hot Topic, how are you doing
to
today?
Protect my discovery.
I haven't been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for like 3 or 4 seasons. What did they end up doing last night?
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Oh, Jitsy's saying no, don't say. Jitsy, are you watching it?
Threat?
If try not to read it if you don't want spoilers.
Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Okay, one, we can either say that hidden files are proof and try and find them ourselves, I'm guessing. Two, nobody mentioned crimes for now. Or three, tell the nurse to mind her own business. Daniels is saying the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. went to the... Oh, that's interesting. I won't read it out loud, so don't worry, Jitsi. Just don't read what Daniel said. That's interesting. I didn't realize that they were that separate. I thought it was kind of more intertwined. And Monty a while back was saying that H.P. Lovecraft apparently had a fear of the sea. I didn't realize that. It explains some of his books, though. The fear of the sea. And kind of sad.
Oh, that
there's
evidence exists. I'm sure
there's a
of it.
library
I need
up in
to
the
find
northeast
missing medical files.
that
And where would you
was
find
in
it?
HP's
In his
hometown.
What if you get caught?
And they had a bust
I'd
of
rather not
HP in
think
there.
about that.
And
I'm counting
they
on your
decided to go
discretion.
out of their way
Of course, Doctor.
when all the
You can count on
rioting
me.
stuff
I'll
started
keep that.
happening to announce to the press that they were seriously considering getting rid of H.P. Lovecraft's bust from their library. And
An unknown medicine.
it really
Judging by the other ones,
it really
causes heavy
aggravates
side
me
effects.
that, one, they're even thinking about removing a bust. Like, H.P. Lovecraft, he had some really, really racist views. But let's not mince words. It was the polite racism of the day, but it was still racist.
This place draws you in and never lets you go.
But and when I say polite racism, what I mean is that he never called for anyone to be lynched. He never called for
The answers
a
must
purging
be
of
hidden in
eugenics.
Fuller's office.
He just had the quiet.
She's a witch, an old hag.
Oh,
I didn't make this up.
who's talking?
And I'm the one who pays. What a pest. It's so unfair.
And yeah, John, that's where I'm going with this. That people, they lack the ability to separate a person from his work these days. It seems like I can appreciate H.P. Lovecraft for his lasting legacy. And in fact, I actually brought this up on an H.P. Lovecraft forum, and the people there kind of gave me the riot act for saying this. Like, how dare you say that H.P. Lovecraft did anything noteworthy? I'm like, guys, you're on a forum dedicated to H.P. Lovecraft. What are you even
Elizabeth,
doing on this forum if you
you
didn't
alright?
think he had a lasting legacy?
Why is this room in such a state?
Because, as always, I'm cleaning it by myself. And the water was once again shut off this morning. I had to bother Mrs. Donovan again, giving her a new excuse to belittle me.
She's got some freckles. One, why go through her? Or two, hang in there. What are we going to tell this girl? So yeah, they're saying like... So one, it annoys me that they're even thinking about removing it. HP was... He did a lot of good writing. He created an entire genre that lasts to this day. But two, the fact that no one even was aware that this bus was in the library. The people who knew the bus was in the library, they don't even like no one knows H.P. Lovecraft. Very few people know him outside people who actually like him, or the work he did rather. And the people who do like his work are often ignorant of the fact that he held racist views, which, not to excuse it away, pretty much everyone from back then held racist views. So it's just like they're inviting drama onto themselves, and all they're doing is trying to announce to the whole world, oh, we're so amazing that we are considering taking down this bust of someone you've probably never heard of for crimes you never knew he committed in an age from long ago. And it's just needless virtue signaling, and it really annoyed me.
Come now. Don't let that witch sap your morale.
Daniel's Hot
lacking in
Topics. Who
qualified
is
personnel, and
H.P.
she knows
Lovecraft?
it.
H.P.
petty
Lovecraft
punishments
is
won't
an
last
author
forever.
from...
I'm trying, Doctor. I'm trying.
Oh,
It's just that
when did he live?
sometimes
1920s,
I imagine she
1950s.
shuts
He was
down the
never...
water herself
He never had
just for
great
the pleasure of
popularity
harassing me.
during his own lifetime.
Her time is much too precious for these kind of petty
But
games.
afterwards, he
Anyway,
actually got a
I've
lot of
learned my
notoriety
lesson.
for
I'll hold my tongue
creating
next
this
time.
strange
Courage, Elizabeth.
creatures from beyond the
Thank you,
stars
Doctor.
kind of horror genre.
It's temperamental, if I understand correctly.
Let's see where it goes.
No, you're pulling my leg. I'm not joking. I saw the schedule. She's alone in the bathroom again. And she still says nothing to that old witch, Donovan. Oh, listen. listen to the way you talk.
We've been waiting to be
Naughty
restocked
girl.
for weeks.
Yeah, cosmic horror. That's a
And the answer
great
is
way of
no.
putting it. And he very much had the
She doesn't
belief
dare say a
that
thing.
um,
That silly goose lets herself be trodden on.
too much learning was
Oh,
a
well,
dangerous thing.
at least
He believed that the more you learn, the
we
more
won't
you
have to play for a
invited
while.
ancient
You'll
horrors,
just wait
basically, to
and
come
see
onto
the
yourself.
next
Like,
time
that's
the
overstating
water's
it, but
cut
he did have this
It's a
mindset that
real show.
that by learning more, you were inviting trouble. Cosmic horror, like aliens, Daniel says, no. This is more like Cthulhu. I know that's using the definition in the word you're trying to define. It'd be more like creepy horror, tentacled monsters from beyond reality that tear away your psychology. So something more like what was it? Event Horizon? I think that was the space movie where they got into a black hole and people just started to go crazy. Alright. Hopefully that gave me some more medical know-how. Colors of Space and Mandy to get an idea is what Jitsi is saying. So Colors of Space was actually a great novel. In fact, you know what? There is if you want some great H.P. Lovecraft, there is a YouTube channel called Horror Babble. Listen to his reading of Call of Cthulhu. It is very well produced, very well done, and it is the book that most people are aware of H.P. Lovecraft. It's a short story, what I'd call a short story. And it is... The thing I love about H.P. Lovecraft is that he writes it as if he were an investigator. And he is going step by step through the investigation until at the end, everything starts to come together. And you get the big aha moment. And at that point, things typically go sideways for your protagonist.
Says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one.
Yeah, Event Horizon is considered by many 400k fans to be an unofficial 400k prequel film. Really? I never would have put it together that Event Horizon was in the same kind of universe as 40k. Sorry guys, I'm having fun exploring through this stuff. So this is Medicine and Secret Sciences. Alright. And Jitsi's asking if that was only because of the inverted church structure. So I actually haven't seen Event Horizon, which may surprise y'all. I actually don't like horror movies, which may surprise a lot of people because I do a lot of kind of horror type games on my channel. But
watch out for the water, Doctor.
I don't like horror movies. They don't appeal to me. And the reason they don't appeal to me is a lot of times a horror movie is nothing more than a kind of a gore fest. Almost like trying to get people aroused by gore. And that kind of movie, it doesn't appeal to me.
Hospital personnel eat the same food.
And then the movies that don't focus on that, which typically I'd say that Japanese films do a great job at horror movies that aren't just gore fest. Like there's actually something crazy going on that's being investigated. And to be fair, Jitsi, when I say horror, I would not include movies like Aliens. I wouldn't put that as a horror movie, even though I know it's supposed to be like a sci-fi horror type film.
Chronic insomnia, like half the island.
Oh, the sleeping pills. Okay, there's our patient. I know I'm backtracking a lot right now.
Doctor, please. My chest. Oh.
His perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't seem to work. He's undergoing a ventricular fibrillation.
A heart attack?
Nurse? Deborah, come and help me, please. His potassium level is too high. Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium, and sodium bicarbonate.
I'll tend to it right away.
Thank you. He's in your hands.
Or maybe I could not be lazy and do it myself since this guy is about to die. Both are good options. Let's see. Monty's saying that if I want a good horror from South Korea, watch Red Squad Vietnam horror film, kind of Lovecraftian. Okay. And then, so...
He broke his back in an accident down
I
by
do
the
like
docks.
more psychological horror.
The whaling station.
What was that
What's
movie,
wrong with me?
The Grudge? I didn't
What
have
are
a
you
fun
talking
time with The
about?
Grudge. There's a very
Doctor,
narrow
you?
niche of horror
Yes,
that I enjoy.
It's Dr. Colden. Tell
Like
me what
Aliens. I
happened.
know a lot of people consider
It's
that a
the old
horror.
whaling
I just call it
station.
action sci-fi.
See?
And I did really enjoy that. Okay, we're going to ask him what happened at the old whaling station. Are we going to ask him about the bootleggers he mentioned, or are we just going to brush him off and say another time? So 1, what happened? 2, bootleggers. And 3, tell me about this another time. Live with Matthew, what year is this? So most of Lovecraftian novels take place in the 1920s, 1930s. That just seems to be the time he really enjoyed, and the time that a lot of people seem to also enjoy it. And then Jitsi is asking Monty what the original name of the movie is. I'd be interested to know that as well.
What did you see there?
Nothing at all. The floor was all rotten and I fell straight through.
And that's how you broke your back.
Perhaps. No idea. Passed out.
Let's see if we can ask him about the
I'll
bootleggers
just
also.
sleep a bit more.
Nope, okay, that's fine.
Dr. Colden?
Well, someone's giving me the cold shoulder.
Mrs. Sanders? Why did nobody tell me about her admission?
Let's see, this file describes the state in which Irene Sanders entered the Riverdale Institute, as well as the treatments administered to her. Fuller added a handwritten note. He recommends to take her down to the psychiatric wing in order to provide her with the quiet and rest she needs. Sarah Sanders is the lady that is believed to, or excuse me, Irene Sanders is the lady who is believed to kill her husband, I think? It's been way too long since I've played this, guys. But I guess things like this and Eternal Darkness, which was for the GameCube, and I played it right before I played this one, which is also another Lovecraftian horror type game, are the games or kind of horror I really enjoy, because it's one of those things where it's really messing with your mind.
What is the boiler room key doing here?
Well, can I take
The
it?
key to the boiler room. Not where I expected to find it.
Sorry, let me see this real quick. Let's see. It's my mom asking if we are interested in any of these language programs. My dad, when he was alive, he loved to learn different languages. So he has tapes for speaking German, French, Swahili, and Italian. And he learned French. He actually learned French twice. Or 3 times. Like never full versions of French, just like kind of conversational level. Once when he worked in Burkina Faso, building a dam, because my dad was a civil engineer.
Intoxication from breathing organic vapors.
He learned it a second time when one of my older brothers wanted to learn French in high school, so my dad spoke it with
Another
him.
insomniac.
And then
I
a
should
third
find a
time,
cause for such a widespread trouble.
my dad went to a mission trip to Kenya. I think it was Kenya, and I want to say Kenya. They speak a lot of French there, and so he learned it a third time so that he could to speak directly to the young men and women that he was going to be shepherding on the mission trip. Because the point of the trip wasn't just to evangelize, but to actually teach people how to read the Bible and teach others how to understand it. So it was all about like reading a passage and going, well, what's going on in this passage? what's the author trying to say with this specific verse, and just instead of just opening it up and being like, wow, this verse to me says it's, rainbows and unicorn farts.
It's a quiet little town. Days go by, steady as ever. I wanted more for myself, but...
All right, I didn't ask, but thanks for your life story. Let's see, and Monty is saying that the film is known as R Point. In the U.S. original title, it was Al Pointe, set in the remains of an old colonial French hospital. In the UK, it was originally misbroadcasted as Red Squad. Cool.
Dr. Colden.
Jitsi says he found it, he's going to get it. Let me know how it is, Jitsi. I have a horrible time remembering things if I don't, write it down quickly.
In theory, this is where we hang the key to the boiler room.
And since I'm not writing it down right now, I almost guarantee I'm going to forget.
Dr. Fuller always keeps his key with him.
Let's see, I think... What's another horror movie that I wouldn't necessarily classify as horror? I would say that Terminator. I know Terminator is a movie that a lot of people would say, well, that's a horror movie. But I wouldn't necessarily call it a horror movie. Let's see. This is where we started. I've been in there. Right? Yeah, I've been in here.
Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going?
Wherever I want to. Gosh.
Dr. Colden.
Mrs. Donovan.
Nobody goes into Dr. Fuller's office. But rest assured, I'll tell him you came by.
That won't be necessary. Thank you.
I will tell him, nonetheless.
Captain Trek, what Bible verse talks about rainbows and unicorn farts? Book, chapter, and verse. Well, that's my point, Captain Trek. That no Bible verse talks about that. I was using it as kind of a hyperbolic example of how some people will take a passage from the Bible and talk about what it means to them, instead of saying, this is what the passage meant to the author. Because, when it comes to reading the Bible, I don't necessarily care about what people think it means to them. I think it's important that as you read it, you do say, well, what is this passage saying? Like, how can I apply this to my own life? But at the end of the day, what really matters is, what it meant to the person who wrote it. Because the person who wrote it is the one who was divinely inspired by it. Not you. And so that was the whole point, that the thing that they taught them was it's called hermeneutics, which is the proper studying and dissecting of a Bible passage. Let's see, where is that key? Over here. And yes, Thomas, it was with in the book of Dej, chapter 6, verse 9. All right, got the boiler key.
Room. All I have to do is shut off the water and hope Donovan takes the bait.
Oh, I see. I'm trying to get her to go away from her post. Okay. Oh, we've talked to this guy. He died.
Ethan.
Horribly.
Marie,
What are you doing here?
I'm...
But then he came back and was alive?
Of course. Why?
So 1, you're a bad liar. 2, why didn't you come to me instead? 3, I'll prescribe you something. Or 4, we already talked about this. So this guy, he started off and is like, oh, well, he's a complete jerk. And then he ended up being a friend with us. He followed us down into some mines. And then he 100% died. And it seemed like you were about to die too, but you ended up surviving this cave-in somehow. And then he shows back up. So we're not sure if how much of this is you going crazy, and how much of this is maybe he got taken over by one of these Lovecraftian horror creatures. Okay, I'm gonna start by offering to prescribe him something.
Tell me your symptoms.
I have headaches. And I can't sleep.
Do you suffer from insomnia?
No. Look, I don't want you to laugh at me.
Ethan,
I can't make any
trust
promises,
me,
Ethan.
then who?
I have nightmares. They keep me awake every night. It seems stupid, I know, but they're terrible.
Actually, you're not the only one.
No. No one has ever seen the things I see. It's like I'm turning mad.
Okay, 1, it seems like an affliction, or 2, you're just tired. And Monty is saying that tomorrow he's going to watch The Death of Stalin. It's been on his backlist for a while. So I'm going to assume that that's kind of a title that explains the movie. But is The Death of Stalin, is that a work of fiction? Or is that kind of like a documentary or a dramatization? Thomas 4, he did. Okay, so it sounds like an affliction. It sounds like a lot of people are having that.
So many people have this affliction. It's like an epidemic.
Do you think it might be related to Fuller's work?
Monty's saying that The Death of Stalin is a comedy documentary based on real
Everyone
events.
in Darkwater is suffering from nightmares.
Really?
We don't have any medication left.
Oh, there's no excuse then. I should let you work.
Take care, Ethan.
You too, Marie.
And Jitsy's saying, I'll be watching whatever is the most GB on my hard disk because I need room. Oh, gigabytes. Okay, I'm with you. No, you just need to upgrade your hard drive.
I don't get why they have us waiting so long.
Didn't
Almost no patience here.
Didn't I talk to you already? Isn't that you right over there? Okay, am I going crazy? This is the exact same character asset, isn't it? Like, they got the same blue striped pants, and they just changed his shirt a little bit. But that's the same asset, isn't it? Okay, now they're just messing with me.
Where did my fiancée go? I hope those nutcases will stop burdening her with work.
Okay, question for y'all. I'm convinced that that guy over there, this guy right here, and that guy right there are all the same base character model. Do you think that this is just, you know, them saving storage space for this game and reusing the same character asset and changing it a little bit? Or do you think, like, this is the game deliberately trying to mess with us somehow?
This man, Edward Pierce, his file is incomplete. What did Fuller do to him?
Edward Pierce. I think that was the name of one of the authors that was doing the anthology that we were looking at earlier.
Sorry, but nobody can take anything until I finish the inventory. Please, the fewer interruptions there are, the faster I'll be finished.
Well, fine. Yeah, okay, space saving, I lean toward that too, but I could also see it being...
The operating room is never accessible after an operation.
I could also see it being trying to mess with you. Like, if I was doing a psychological horror game, that's one of the things that I'd start
Let's
to...
hope I can go through the administration office.
I'd start to mess with people by doing. Okay. Into the boiler room we go.
I can't shut this with my bare hands. I need a tool.
How are we doing on time? Ooh, we're doing a little... kind of running up against the end here. Let's see if I can't find a tool real quick. Okay, that's the lady. We need to get out of here. We got a broom, some dirty clothes. And we've technically been in this area once already.
Everybody says it.
When we were playing as the actual main character and not this lady that we've warped into her body in, we were in this area and having to do like a stealth segment of the game. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Like, honestly, I enjoy clever reuses of the same environment. I like it when game designers are smart like that. Especially if it's not obvious. Like, if it's one thing if it's like, hey, I've done this exact map before.
Fever. What's he doing here?
But if... Did she save him? He still looks almost dead. So if it's the exact same map, like, that gets old.
Dr. Colden?
But if it turns out like, hey, this is clearly the same map, but they have changed things up to make it really unique, that's what I like. Eternal Darkness did a great job with doing that, where you did the same 5-ish basic maps, but you did them in different time periods, and based on the time period it changed like how run down it was, or you know, changed the environments going on at the time, the areas you could access, like some places would be inaccessible in the future because a cave-in had happened, or some places didn't exist in the past.
There's no way I'm leaving until I find what Fuller is hiding.
Dr. Batty's asthma cigarettes. It relieves asthma, hay fever, foul breath, all diseases of the throat, headaches or head colds, canker sores, bronchial irritations. Not recommended for children under 6. That reminds me how back in the day, shows like the Flintstones used to have the characters smoke. But I mean, of course, the Flintstones, it was never supposed to be like a kid's show. It was always kind of more marketed toward the adult crowd. Okay, now I can get in here. Very good. What does that question mark symbol mean? I've forgotten. Robert is saying... Oh, I've missed some stuff. Monty was saying, and there is a Stilson on the floor you can interact with. I missed that. Robert saying, Life with Matthew. You should check out Road Awakening's Tamar Shabbat sermon here on YouTube. It's going to be about witchcraft in the church. Okay. And Jesse's saying, before you leave and I go to bed, ever played Mansions of Madness, an Arkham horror and or Eldritch horror game, board games? I have not. Right now I am doing a Call of Cthulhu RPG game with Wesley Crusher and a couple of my friends in real life. That sounds so rude to say. Sorry, Wes. I didn't mean it like that. Some of the people like that live around in the same area. Because Wes lives far away.
I feel guilty about Elizabeth, but I need the diversion.
I think you think about it more than they do.
And Bird of Prey 5 donated $1. Thank you. Why are you showing Kuroga only hospital on a live stream? It shows how horrible they are. I'm on his list. Oh no, Bird. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be revealing state secrets. So I am doing the tabletop RPG with Wes right now, which hopefully we can figure out when we can finish this game up. I think we only have 1, maybe 2 weeks left in it, but we keep having scheduling problems. I'm gonna have to stop there. It's time for me to wrap this up here, guys. But let me read through these last couple chats here before I do it. But if you know some great Eldritch horror board games, this is a genre I have a lot of fun with. And one of the reasons I have a lot of fun with it is because there are no real religions out there in which people believe this stuff is happening. So I have fun with the outlandish ideas they come up with. So if you know things like that, let me know, because I love playing them. And then Monty was saying menthol cigs were advertised for people with asthma. Yeah, it was just it was so dumb. I've seen a few old medicine adverts and books and manuals I've got in my archive that have cocaine. Yeah, it used to be a much more acceptable thing. Like, you'd mix it up in drinks. And then we decided to do the war on drugs, and we started to do really bad versions of cocaine, and we started to do much higher dosages of it, and it's had horrible consequences. Like, the war on drugs has actually had a very negative impact on drug use in America. And not negative as in, well, that's what we're going for, but negative as in it's made it a lot worse than had we done nothing. Which, I'm kind of like Malcolm Reynolds in Firefly, where, specifically the movie Serenity, he has a great line about how the government believed that they could make people better, and instead it had the opposite result. And that line just resounds with me, because I think so often that the government tries to legislate morality, and you just can't do that. You can legislate you acting against someone else, but you can't legislate you acting as yourself. And whenever you try to legislate you acting as yourself, you always get negative results. Just every time. I've never seen an example where they tried to legislate how you act on yourself, such as prohibition or the war on drugs, that didn't have a negative impact on society. Thomas Potts saying, life with Matthew. I thought Cinnabon was going to play that with you. You know, he was, Thomas. He ended up not being able to. I'd love to have him come back in, because hopefully, provided people don't die when I do my next session, I want to continue doing this. I have a lot of fun running this campaign. I have just taken the basic plot and way expanded it, so it's been really fun for me to run the campaign. I'm hoping it's been fun for Wes and my friend Daniel and Zach to play the campaign, but hopefully if we keep doing this, Cinnabon might join us on a future one. Life with Matthew, just go to the southern Kuroga border, we'll pick you up. No, Thomas, it's fine. I like living in Kuroga. Team Kuroga forever, kapla. Jesse's saying, Mansions of Madness is the way to go then, in my opinion. It's hard, but the other one, which granted I'll play once, was a drag after 3 hours. That's interesting, Jitsi. I wonder if it's on Steam. I know there's a board game on Steam where you can load in different modules, and I'd be interested in playing it. Otherwise, I'll find a physical copy and find some friends to play with, or frankly just play it on my own. Robert's saying, goodbye, everyone. Off to church now. Goodbye, Robert. You have a good evening. I'm going to wrap it up here also as soon as I get to the end of a couple chats here. Gigi's saying there's plenty more. I'll let you know on Twitter if you want. Please do. Or in Discord. In fact, I need to set up my own Discord server. Not because I'll necessarily hang out on it, but for doing my tabletop gaming, try and get things coordinated there. I need to set up a Discord server, and I've never done it, so we'll see if that happens or not. But if that ever happens, that'd be a great place for people to send me things that they want me to check out. But also, I do hang out on Twitter. If we've never talked before, it may take me a little bit to respond because I'm not the best about looking in the messages area where you go to messages and it says, here's someone you haven't talked to before. Do you want to approve a communication with them? So everyone can send me a message, but it may take me a little bit to notice it if we've never talked before. But you can find me on Anti-Trucker's Discord and Bird of Praise, and you can find me on Twitter. And used to, YouTube had a messaging component, but they got rid of that because I don't know why. They hate small people, apparently. They hate small channels. Jizzy's saying it sucks that the time zones are so different because I've been craving for some RPGing in a while. Yeah. And you know, we can work something out. If you're interested in doing like tabletop RPG, like D&D or Call of Cthulhu or anything like that, I'm running a Call of Cthulhu campaign, and Wes is actually starting up a D&D campaign. You might want to reach out to him and see if he's still looking for people or if we've gotten everyone we need. But if you're interested in a D&D campaign, talk to Wesley Crusher, who he's also on Discord on Anti-Truckers. I don't think he has a Twitter. He also hangs out on live streams. You can find him pretty easily. LDG is saying board game sims suck. They often do. They're imperfect. But if I can do a board game simulator and be able to play with y'all in the community, I'm going to do it. I'd have a lot of fun. In fact, I am just waiting for the Board Game Simulator 4-pack to go on sale so that I can host a game like that and have people in the community join in. Wesley, can I come out of timeout? I heard my name. Yeah, I was talking about the D&D game that we're trying to get going. Jitsu was saying how he's been looking for a good RPG, and I wasn't sure if he was talking about a video game or about a tabletop game. And Monty is saying, Life with Matthew, I'd be interested in playing an RPG with you, especially historical stuff. I've got a ton of stuff for world building. Very cool. Yeah. Contact me on Twitter, contact me on Discord or something. We can talk. And with that, guys, I am going to wrap it up. I've gone a little bit later than I should. Hopefully the miss isn't too upset, because I'm pretty sure I smell supper down there. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And until the next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please share it, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that bell icon to be kept up to date with all the new videos that I release on this channel. And as always, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.